This is not an auto pen, by the way. With today's signing, we're pushing even further into the exciting new frontier. Just as I promised last year, the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Let me say the entire crypto community, for years, you were mocked and dismissed and counted out. You were counted out as little as a year and a half ago. But this signing is a massive validation. And even before this signing, over the last year and a half, I think your stuff has gone up more than any stock, or just about more. A couple of stocks that were pretty good, I will say. But you have certainly, as an industry, gone up more than anybody. Nobody's gained the respect in such a short period of time. But this signing is a massive validation of your hard work and your pioneering spirit and your ability to never give up. You've made our dollar look really good and strong and powerful. It's good for the dollar and it's good for the country. And that's why I backed you at an early stage. And I also did it for the votes, because you did come out and vote, I will tell you. Yeah, we worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you. This is a hell of an act.
Could the Genius Act be the roadmap to a cashless society? On July 18th, 2025, President Trump signed the Genius Act into law, and it can be a big step on how we use money. The Genius Act is the first major U.S. law to regulate stablecoins, which are digital dollars tied to real dollars. Licensed banks and trusted companies can create them now, and they have to follow strict rules like keep real money in reserves, do monthly reports, get audited regularly, and protect users if something goes wrong. This law makes digital money feel more official, more trusted, and that opens the door for more people to use it instead of cash. It doesn't ban paper money, but it definitely helps push the U.S. closer to a cashless economy.
I'm very confused about the Genius Act. I thought there was a deal made by the president to make sure that included was going to be the central bank digital currency. There'd be no possibility of a backdoor to get that. So where are we?
Steve, let me explain something. In 1971, we went off of the gold standard. The Federal Reserve did that. And we went to cash, a cash society. And the value of the dollar has drastically gone down to the buying power is less than 10 cents now from where it was in the 1950s before we went off the gold reserve. What's happening today on July 17th in 2025, when no one is paying attention, no one's talking about it, everyone is in blind rage about the Epstein files, and I don't blame them. However, right now, what is being voted on today in Congress is the entire setup, groundwork, and an entire infrastructure being laid to move from cash to digital currency. And the number one thing that is not happening today is a ban on a central bank digital currency. This means the ability for the government to take control of your digital bank account where all your money is and turn it off. And this is why I'm so upset and it's not being talked about. Steve, I was the only no vote on the rule last night, and Congress set a record last night, and no one's talking about that either. This was the longest vote held open for a rule in history, and it finally shut down sometime around midnight because there was a deal made, and the deal will not be honored. It was a deal that Speaker Johnson made, and he said that he would put a ban on central bank digital currency in the NDAA. But let me tell you something, that's going to get stripped out in the Senate, because what they told us all week long is the Senate does not have the votes to pass a ban on a central bank digital currency. So I want to lay this out straight for you all. You never thought in your lifetime that the government would shut you down, would close your churches, would close your schools, would close your business. And that happened only a few years ago. But what is happening today is the groundwork is being laid, and it's all in the name of cryptocurrency and stablecoin. But it is the entire regulatory process to switch us from cash to a cashless society, to digital currency that can be controlled by the federal government. And there will be no ban on a central bank digital currency.
If you see what was said about the passing of the crypto today, 3 major crypto bills were passed today. And it was just like the Lord said. And even when he said, I'm warning you, it's about privacy. And people go, and people they said, Brandon, you know, they're able to spy us anyway. No, I'm talking about how they're able to reach into your cookie jar and take your cookies. I'm talking about them being able to push your button on your crypto account and completely lock you up like it is without hardly any notice. Boop, sorry, you don't have access to your funds. What happened?
No control.
No control. Mm-hmm. No setting up constitutional rights around crypto. But what it's doing is it's bringing forth the beast system, that you will not buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast. Do you understand what I'm saying? You will not buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast. What is digital currency? What is crypto? It's all being set up for the end of the end, for the beast system. Revelations is unfolding right in front of your face, and many people do not see it.
You're literally handing them your wealth, all of your wealth. And so here's like the big risk, which you laid out, right? Like this, if nothing else, the one risk that I care about is that this could easily switch into a surveillance state tool to control us. So if you look at what happened with like the Canadian truckers, remember they had their bank accounts shut off?
Yep.
And then look at China. China already has this. They already have a central bank digital currency, and they've linked it to like health data. They've linked it to the social credit score. So if you do something that they don't like, you can't access your wallet. And I've seen videos of people talking about this. Like, I haven't been able to buy groceries because of whatever reason. You said something bad about the government. And like this one girl, she was like, my uncle now and my brother, now their wallets are shut off because they gave me money for food because I needed to eat. So like, it's happening already in China. And I know that's an extreme example because their government is, well, we think it's so much different. But when you look at what happened during, are we that different? Like, imagine this was in place during when the government was pushing these passports. All they would have to do is link the passport to your wallet, and you don't get the well, then you're not accessing your wallet. You can't shop at any of these stores. You can't, you know what I mean? Like that would have been, they could have done that overnight and then we'd all be screwed. It's like you either get the or you don't have your money.
Okay, let's talk about the Genius Act. The Genius Act is the act that will implement the government's control of them being able to take complete control of any digital currency. So that means if you're a person getting a direct deposit, the government at any point can go into your account and just freeze it. So if you vote for that Genius Act, you have then given away your right to have cash in hand, and we will become a society of digital currency. Okay? And we halfway there. All it's going to take is for them to vote it in. And once it is voted in, I think the mark of the beast shall follow. I think the mark of the beast shall follow. I think the mark of the beast shall follow. Okay?
The dream started when I was in my house and I was looking for my mom and dad. And God told me that they left to go take the mark of the beast. And since my parents weren't there, I thought the house was empty, but when I went into my parents' room, my sister walked in behind me, and I asked her where mom and dad was, but she said that she didn't know. So, but I knew in my mind that it was the tribulation that started, so I asked if she could take me to the store. She said yeah, so we get in the car, And God told me in my spirit that she took the mark of the beast. So I look at her forehead, I don't see nothing. I look at her hands, I don't see nothing. I look at her right hand, I don't see a symbol or something indicating, telling me that she took it. But I don't see a symbol, but I see a blister. She has like, it's like a small blister, or it looked like a wound or a blister or a sore that was on her right hand. So I knew immediately by seeing that it was the mark of the beast. But God told me in my spirit that they're going to try to hide the fact that it's the mark of the beast. They're going to make it seem like it's something good. And that's going to make people want to take it instead of them forcing it on people. And God told me it's not going to be the number 666. That's not going to be the mark of the beast. It's what I seen, there was nothing on the hand. It was a chip, but there was no symbol on it. They made it seem like it was something natural to take. But that was the mark of the beast. And on everyone that took the mark of the beast, you could see blisters and sores on everybody. They can't hide it. They can't put makeup over it. It was blisters and sores or wounds on everybody that took it. But I asked my sister to take me to the store because I didn't say this out loud, but in my head I'm thinking, this is the tribulation. I need to get food and supplies, and I need to get to a remote location. And as my sisters take me to the store, we're driving. And I don't know how to explain it. It's like she was being controlled. I'm so serious. Her mind was like altered and her speech was slurred. She wasn't normal. She wasn't the same. And I seen this, and as we were driving, she was swerving all over the place, and I seen this, and I knew that she wasn't in the right state to drive, so I just tell her to turn around. So now we're on the way back home. But then God was telling me in my spirit that they can control your mind through the chip. Like, I'm so serious. They can control your mind through the chip. Like, it's so crazy. She didn't even know. She forgot everything. My sister didn't remember anything. She forgot everything, and she didn't even know where she was at. She didn't know who she was. They can literally make you a puppet. But as we were driving back and passing cars and passing people walking and everything like that, you could tell who took the mark and who didn't. It's like a dark presence surrounded the people that took the mark. But my plan, since I couldn't go to the store, was just to go back home and get all the supplies and food that I needed and then flee. But for some reason, it's like everyone could tell, like, you didn't take the mark. Like there's not even a symbol, but they could just tell. Like, some reason, some way, I don't know how, but they could just know. And there was a whole bunch of cars following me. And it's like their mood switched to aggression. And God told me that you can't fake not having the mark. You can't, like, try to go into stores and stuff like that without having it. And God told me whoever gets the mark, no matter what age they are, no matter how young or old they are, their minds can get controlled. And then I finally get home, and all the cars that were following me, they jump out and start chasing me as I'm trying to go inside my house. I try to unlock my door, and there's literally people chase me with weapons. I hope this video doesn't get removed, but when I went to unlock the door, there was this guy that literally stabbed me in my side. And then, but he wasn't like old, like he was probably a little bit older than me. And I look at his mom, because I'm waiting for his mom to pull him off of me and stop him from what he's doing. And his mom just looks at me stares at me and starts laughing and smiling. And after that happened, God just pulled me from the dream.
That's been on my mind, and just with the end coming fast, I want to prepare people for what could be the actual market to be. Now, I'm not claiming to be some prophet. I'm not claiming to be some anything. I'm not even claiming that this is 100% accurate. I'm just saying, like, I had this dream. It was so clear to me at the time that this was the mark of the beast that I literally was like, in my dream, whoa, this is the mark of the beast. In this dream, it wasn't me. It was like I was in this person's body. I had my thoughts, their thoughts, and what they were seeing. And I was feeling kind of down and depressed, and well, I don't want to say I'm not claiming that, Jesus' name, but this person was feeling down and depressed, and they was trying to find a solution for it. So, but no one know that. This person didn't tell anybody this. They walked into this store that was kind of like a wireless cell phone place. Like if you were to go into a U.S. Cellular, Verizon, a T-Mobile, and you would walk in the glass doors, and there's a person right there. Because I used to work in the store in U.S. Cellular, and I work for a wireless company now. And we would stand and greet people at the door. And so this person, it was a woman, but it was like she was overly happy, overly cheerful, got a huge smile on her face, very like generically made, very like Black Mirror type vibe. Like she was very weird, but she was smiling and she was very welcoming. I remember this person, I could feel what they were feeling. This person felt welcome to her. So they're in there, and she's talking to him, and she says, "Hey, like welcome in," greeting them and everything whatnot. And before this person can really even say everything what was going on, I think they explained it a little bit, and they was like, we have something that can help you with your depression. We have something that can help you feel happy all the time. You won't feel depressed anymore. And you'll get money. And this thing, that, and whatever. So she was literally like a salesperson for this thing. And there was like a hologram, like, poster. Like a poster board. If there's a poster board, kind of like probably 3, 4 feet high, tall, and probably like a foot or two wide, and it was holographic, and it was coming out of this white basin thing, and it was coming up, and she pointed to this hologram thing, and she was telling them all the benefits, how it can make him happy, how he can get money, how he can order stuff and do things, and he wouldn't even have to leave anywhere, and stuff would come to him, and blah, 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 and whatnot, and what. And she took the image of the thing, and it's like the hologram was here, and it went open. She like pinched it up like that, and she brought this thing out, and it was like in her hand, and it was this small, tiny, golden microchip. Like it was literally probably like this small, kind of. It was very like square, very small. And this gold, it was pure gold. Like, it looked shiny. I remember feeling this person's emotion. It was like, wow, this thing, like, it's nice. This thing is, like, shiny. It's just very appealing. And she was presenting this thing to him. And then, like, I just remember her showing it. Like I said, it was a very small, tiny, golden microchip. Very small, tiny golden microchip that was placed in the brain or in the hand or whatnot, and it would give you ability to almost control you. It's almost like data. You're connecting to the data like an AI. Your mind becomes kind of like that, very robotic, like very just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of hard to explain. You become very robotic, very dead, very like not you at all. Like you are just a completely different person, very like automated, animated, like I don't even know how to explain. But, and then I remember like the person taking it, and I was just like, wow, this is the mark of the beast. Like in my, like, because I had my own thoughts too, and I woke up.
Okay, I've never made a video like this before, and it's been eating at me inside to at least tell you guys what I've been saying. I feel like last night God gave me a dream about the mark of the beast, and it was kind of a doozy. It's kind of scary. But I will tell you as best as I remember, because it gets a little intense, but bear with me. So I was in a classroom, I was in a school setting or something like that, and I remember the teachers came to us saying that we had to get this quick little surgical system inserted because it was the only way to stay a part of society, because if you don't, it's basically like an automatic way of declaring yourself as a full-out criminal, like you're the worst of the worst and they gotta get you. And automatically I knew what it was and I knew not to get it, and I was telling certain kids like, yo, don't get it, like if whoever I could talk to quietly, and just like don't do it. And so we all had to walk from our classroom to the place to go get it done. As we were walking to that room, me and a few other kids just like took off into a certain direction and tried to start like hiding. Like just, we needed to hide. We knew we needed to hide. All the kids who went into that room, I never saw again. Anyways, me and the kids who decided to run away were hiding in like the darkest corners and attics and crawl spaces of the building, of the facility, to, you know, not get caught, not get found, because if they found us, we knew it would be bad. Anyways, a little bit of a fast forward. I'm sitting in a room and I see an officer walk in with his daughter. And this does get a little graphic. I'm sorry if it freaks anybody out. But they were both talking to each other, and I could tell he's like trying to calm her down or something. And in comes a few more officers, and they ask him like, why didn't you do it? Like, why didn't you take the system? And before he even really could respond, they pewed both of them in the heads. Bam, done. And me and like one or two other kids are sitting in these like rafters, like dark corner of the roof, watching this happen and realizing that if they catch us, that we are gone. We are Dunyan rings. There's nothing to do about it. And it started getting really intense from here because it's a life or death situation at this point. So for hours, we are sitting in these corners of the rooms trying to hide and pretend like we're not there, and, you know, sneak around. And, you know, whenever a new person walks in the room and starts to search our area, we had to kind of keep going and hiding. Basically a big game of cat and mouse. Fast forward a few more hours, it's already nighttime. There's no one in the facility other than officers looking for me and the other kids. And we all knew that if they catch us, we're done. We knew we needed to escape the facility, but there was not much we could do to get there, especially while there's people walking around. There was a few moments where I almost got caught along with a few other people, and the only thing that I could do, the only thing that I knew to do, was to get the guy before he got me. So, you know, whatever was nearby, clunk, that's the only thing I could do. In which we kept running and hiding, trying to, you know, get away from these guys and just make sure we didn't get caught. Sadly, I watched one kid who wasn't a part of my group in the immediate time get caught. They pulled him down from the thing and pew, right then and there. And we all saw it. Trying to maintain our composure, we eventually did find a way out. We did get out of the facility and we sprinted into the nearby forest. Fast forward again, I entered another like warehouse situation with a bunch of other people who didn't take the mark. And I remember that things were very, very on edge. There was almost no food, not a lot of weapons. We didn't really have anything. And I watched a group of girls run inside the building holding up a sign. It's like 3, 2, 1. As soon as they put 0, they were hiding, and a truck pulls up with a bunch of people in it, a bunch of officers, and they get out and they start searching the area. And I knew the only thing that I could do was go and hide in the rafters again. Like I had to get up somewhere high and hide. And it was so scary because I was trying really hard not to knock anything over. In the area that I was in, there's a bunch of tools and stuff in this warehouse, and one little nut or screw falling off where I was would tell them, hey, come get me. Like, it was pretty terrifying. And so anyways, I was up in the rafter. I got my way up there, and I watched these guys start to really search every single corner of this building, and it felt in my gut that it was only a matter of time before they find me. So I had to just keep hiding. I had to keep finding a way out. And then I woke up, and man, it felt really real. It felt extremely realistic, and there was some other details I won't go into because they were just a little bit more graphic, but it was real. It was there. I was there. And part of me just knows that when this mark actually comes, when the mark of the beast actually comes, this is how it's going to be. is going to be at a point where if you take it, you're part of society, but you deny God. And if you don't take it, you will be